Wow, this is such a traumatic film. This is right up there with Requiem for a Dream as one of the most just heartbreaking films that I have ever seen. But that's not bad about the film. It is such a well done movie, and we are going to get into all of that with the positives. The thing I want to talk about here mostly is the storytelling and the cast. Every character, every actor in this film is doing such a masterful, wonderful job. Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and just moving into the story and the heartbreak that's on display here. I haven't I was at a loss for words when this movie ended. Like literally I was sobbing in the theater during the film, and that is something that has never happened to me in a movie. At the start of the film, I was like, somewhere in these eyes. But then at the end of the film, I was like, on your side. Just the fact that this movie is based on a true story, and then when you go and read about the family, it really is almost beat for beat what happened. And the fact that they even left out tragic events of a whole nother brother because the director said it would just be too much is actually insane. That this is a real story, and it's even more heartbreaking in real life than it is in the movie. Normally it's the other way around. I have so many good things to say about this film. How you see the journey of all four brothers become wrestlers, and the trauma and the toxic masculinity that this movie isn't afraid to tackle, like the real men don't cry kind of aspect that a lot of people need to get over. And to see this family deal with that, and then what that brings on to young men or men, it's just such a heartbreaking pull at your strings kind of story. The way that this film handles these tragic events is done in such an artful way. For me, like A24, I feel like their movies go too far. They push the envelope in kind of the wrong ways. I'm not a very big A24 fan, so I was a little skeptical with this film. But no, the way that this movie portrayed everything, the way that they showed things, but then also chose not to show other things, I think was just handled perfectly. Moving into the mixed category, I think the beginning, I would say 10 to 15 minutes kind of was a little slow for me. I wasn't really sure like exactly where the movie was going to go, but by the time they introduced the majority of the brothers, or kind of the family, the dynamic that was going on, everything was better from that point on. Going into the negatives here, I don't have much to talk about in this section. I think a lot of it actually has to do with some cinematography choices. I thought a few camera angles were a little odd. Maybe some shots lingered a little more than they needed to, but that was far and few. And there was nothing that took me out of the film. And so yeah, that's really all I have to talk about in this category. Wrapping this one up, this is, again, like I'm saying, just such a tragic story of this family and what they endured in their lives, and the fact that it is based on a true story, and the real life story is more heartbreaking than the actual movie, it just blows my mind. I know I'm late to reviewing this one, so I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, but if you haven't, I definitely recommend checking it out. This was such a masterfully done film, and like I said, one that I I don't really want to watch again just because of how tragic it is. If you have seen it though, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Let me know if you loved it or if you hated it. Was it just too much for you? Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you all on the next one.